good afternoon, everybody. Post-unlock, society is witnessing change in consumer behavior and overall lifestyle. The recovery from this changed behavior and shopping pattern is estimated to continue for a period of 6 to 9 months more. So this time needs to be used to reinvent and relearn from new strategies for growth. Today we have Mr. Manoj K. Agarwal with us. He's the CEO of Viviana Malls, owned by Ashwin Seth Group and GIC Singapore. Mr. Manoj is a hospitality and mall professional for over 32 years in shopping mall industry. So Mr. Agarwal, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
So if you could, Mr. Agarwal, Viviana Mall uses social media to instill sense of confidence in customers. Could you throw some more light on this?
Yes, so actually, as we all know, social media is an increasing importance in the entire industries which are in the B2C domain. So we at Viviana also over the last couple of years have realized the growing importance of social media. And this got kind of, enhanced very much during the lockdown and the time when people are not around to move around. So it was something which was very, very important for us. So as a team, we developed a strategy amongst marketing and our operations and the management levels. And we made out a graphic social media strategy, particularly for the lockdown, to create awareness about what the mall was doing while it was shut, as well as to keep our customers engaged with certain social media activities. So I'll just briefly touch upon them. So what we had done was that first we came out with actually two strategies. One was for customers and one was for our own retail brand partners. So what we did was for the customers, we had various online streaming activities where we would, have certain contests. We would have workshops like yoga workshop, Zumba workshop. Then we had some live streaming of music programs. We had a couple of contests. Then we had, something for children like art and craft, painting. Then we had some online fun and games. Side by side, what we did was that for our retailers, we managed to develop a newsletter where we would update them as to what was going on in the mall every week, and we would post an update for that. So this helped us in keeping our customers and retailers engaged, and also we used this platform to spread awareness about what safety measures the mall was planning once it actually reopens. So as a continuation, when the mall actually was to open, we already had built up this kind of a base for what was to follow in terms of the opening measures, and that was very well received. And I'm happy to note that all our customers are very satisfied and happy with the various measures that mall has undertaken, as well as our retail staff and our own outsourced and direct staff are also equally happy.
Sure, that's really interesting to know. So also in your opinion, what would be the factors that will shape the trends of the retail business going forward after COVID?
Well, I think post-COVID, we are already in a way in the post-COVID phase, though obviously COVID has not gone yet. But if I see for the first, from starting from now for the first couple of years of post-reopening, I think what will happen is that there'll be a lot of emphasis on, touchless, contactless systems, on distancing, on wearing, masks, some of the practices of the new normal. However, I feel that slowly but steadily, the old ways of doing business that was there pre-COVID will be there. Only thing is, as a long-term impact, possibly people may design keeping, a pandemic or a future pandemic in mind. God forbid it should not happen. But for that, maybe little larger spaces, broader aisles, broader corridors, entryways which are more ordered. There is, more opportunity to queue up if necessary. Things like that in design. In store design,
Right.
maybe, slightly wider, broader stores, which give a little better circulation. I think some
Sure.
of these steps may happen in future, but I don't think that there would be any impact in terms of the shopping experience once the vaccine and its solution and its rollout has happened across every person, in India and across the world, I don't think that will change. Maybe for the next 2-3 years, there would be some measures in place till the vaccine has actually not eliminated the scare of COVID and the infection, the causing of infection of COVID. I think that's what it would be. Side by side, however, I think as we were discussing the previous question, social media will keep on to grow in leaps and bounds in terms of its importance and interactivity with the customer. Second is that I think technology adoption, which has got accelerated during the COVID time,
Yeah,
probably now people will move faster into the domains of artificial intelligence, using of technology like QR codes, maybe some kind of a geo-positioning type of system to establish, customer trends and shopping behavior trends, things of that nature. Maybe a little better interactivity through the digital media like websites, loyalty program, mobile app, or
right.
those kind of things would be there in future. But the pure shopping experience in a couple of years should bounce back to what it used to be always.
Sure. So fear in a way has actually gone of COVID. So people are keenly waiting for the vaccine to come.
Yes.
So Mr. Agarwal also tell us that Viviana has always been actively, involved in CSR activities. So recently your initiative of sensitize towards visually impaired. Could you throw some light on this aspect?
Well, yes, I think as a responsible mall and as a socially aware mall, and also with our own effort to try and give back to our customers, to our society, and to all people who are there in and around us in our communities. We've had various programs. One was about the visually impaired part, so the mall is visually impaired friendly. We have menus in braille. We have signages everywhere which can help a person to navigate their way around. We also have an XR CVC center, which is with the St. Xavier's Institute, which is in the mall for training of people who are visually challenged. So these are some of the things as far as that goes. Then we have like a punk center, which is through the train initiative in retail, where we are training people and developing people who are having either functional or speech impairments to be able to be trained to work in the retail trade. Last year we had one initiative where we used the leftover material post the Ganesh Visarjan, which was collected by us, and people gave it to us for conversion into manure. This manure, in turn, once converted, was distributed, which we were doing for other food waste, but this was also used to distribute freely to customers who were visiting the mall, as well as we distributed almost about 8 tons of manure to the TMC, which is the Thane Municipal Corporation, so that they
Okay.
could use it for their various parks and other green areas that they are
Sure.
looking after. So some of these things during the pandemic time, what we had done was that since the mall had to function, so we had accommodated almost about 50 odd people in the mall, and we had made arrangements for them to stay with us in the mall and provided them all the adequate boarding and lodging facilities. So that there was a twofold thing. One, they had a roof over their heads and they did not
Mhm.
have the fear of infection. And same thing for the mall, that because they were staying here, so they could look after the various functionalities of the mall in terms of security, in terms of the engineering equipment, in terms of
Yeah.
cleaning and hygiene of various areas. And
Yeah.
because they were in the mall, so we looked after the requirements in terms of boarding and lodging, just to repeat that. And side by side, because they were not going outside, so they were not at risk from catching infection. And similarly, we were also ensured that nobody would get an infection of COVID into the mall. This was one
Sure.
initiative. Second initiative, which was at our group level, where they tried to provide meals to the people who needed meals and support, during the time when the lockdown was there. I think these two
Uh-huh.
initiatives for us stand out. Lastly, what we had done was that around the time when the lockdown had little bit eased out and there was little better movement, then we had distributed, grocery and provision packets to some of our staff as well as to some auto rickshaw drivers and some others people who are needy in and around Thane. So that is
Okay.
the third initiative which we had done during the lockdown times.
Yeah, that's really very nice and interesting to know. Mr. Agarwal, how about your expansion plans for 2020? Like how COVID impacted your roadmap?
Well, I think it is obviously because everything was shut and, because of a lot of financial and business stresses, which not only the mall industry, but right across in real estate, as well as in all the industries which were there, which were impacted because of the lockdown. I think there's been a general slowdown, and I expect that the plans that we had for growth of our mall portfolio that has just taken a little bit of a deferment. So I think maybe about a year or so from today, we should be able to restart very aggressively on the same. That is what my take is.
Sure. Since you had experience with L&T before, what is your intake on retail with transit? Oriented development opportunities. Do you think it is a next frontier in retail industry?
Well, I think it's definitely an interesting vertical because what happens is that metro systems are coming across in many cities across India. So my take here is that while it has some opportunities, probably the opportunities are in this manner that one is the actual retail, which is on the, what we call the station box. Now there the opportunities in my view are a little limited because it's like a, on the go type of retail. So you don't have like, I don't see much opportunity for something where people come and shop at a station, but something which they need on the go, whether it's food, whether it's a cup of tea, whether it's some kind of a accessory like a mobile accessory or something, some minor apparel accessory like a cap or a scarf, things of that nature. Maybe some service which is related to, provision of SIM cards, recharging of mobile, prepaid mobile and things of that nature. Those kind of things are interesting. Maybe a small gift shop, a sweet shop, or something which somebody would like to carry back home or to a friend's house in case they missed out taking it earlier. So those kind of things I think is an opportunity as far as the retail within the station box or the station of each particular terminal of the metro goes. The second part which is there is, which is probably on a broader domain, is that because we all know that the metro projects are having long turnaround times and the payback periods estimated are at least 25 to 30 years. So given that fact, the government is trying to sweeten this payback time by providing land parcels on lease basis, and
Yeah.
then you are allowed to develop them into either commercial or retail centers, and
Mm-hmm.
that depending on what is the exact length and breadth of the metro which is planned and what is the scope. So they are offering land parcels on this basis for development.
Okay.
And there are these concession agreements which are there for this are also having renewal options at a certain time. So I think this is an interesting part because then what happens is, because uh, along the metro routes at appropriate locations you get kind of prime land for development into retail, and
Mm-hmm.
all of them are not necessarily large parcels. So some are big and some are small. So you can have a neighborhood center, you can have a small lifestyle center, or you could have a destination mall based on where and what is the exact location of this land. So I think that's a very interesting development which will happen in the retail and retail real estate space.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, Mr. Agarwal, Singapore GIC bought 50% stake in Viviana Mall. So could you please highlight, on the funding part?
Well, I think what we are seeing is that because capital abroad is at a much lower rate, so
Right.
the interest payouts are much lower when you have funds which are coming from abroad. as well
That's
as
right.
a lot of the funds which have moved into India, much like GSA and many others. So they are all now looking and they are hungry for markets where they feel that they can get a better return as compared to the countries that they are in. So I think given that fact, it is probably the global side of the retail business within India will be much higher, and we will
Right.
have a lot of people. Already, a lot of people are showing interest. And if you see even recent news in the retail world, there are many people who are buying up part stakes and taking, in fact, sometimes
Absolutely.
majority stakes into the retail space as well as into malls. And now we
Yeah.
also have the REITs which have entered at the instance of the government initiatives as well as the instance of the people who have funded various small groups. I think these are all things which will hold the retail real estate in good stead in the time to come. And should you have suitable project which is well thought out, then you can even get a value add from the various funds who are wanting to invest in terms of the scale, size, design, and the commercialability of these assets. At the same time,
Sure.
you would get capital at a much lower payback rate.
Hmm.
So then all this augurs well for the brick and mortar type of retail format. And I'm quite, I think, bullish on this fact that this will be there to stay and it will help everyone who's there in being able to develop, larger and, sizable mall portfolios.
Sure. Absolutely. So, Mr. Agarwal, the last question to you is how is the customer experience and shopping impacted the new normal?
Well, in the new normal, actually, if you see it is on one side, you can say that there are many measures and many things need to be done. But on the other side, if you say they are very simple kind of measures which people can adopt to, and ensure their and their family and their near and dear safety, which is as simple as, wear a mask, maintain distancing, and sanitize your hands on a frequent basis. When you go out and come back, then you make sure you sanitize yourself, maybe have a fresh change of clothes, if necessary have a shower. So these are something
Right.
very simple and basic which are there. So that I don't think is the difficult part. What happens is that because in a mall or in any commercial space,
Hmm.
you anticipate a lot of visitors. So
Right.
to have measures which are in place which make sure that the visitors on one side find the experience convenient, and that the systems are there in place to ensure that people are actually wearing masks, they are maintaining distance, there is no crowding anywhere, and that the various facilities from an escalator to a washroom to an aisle to certain service desks plus the billing and cashiering, all these are done in such a manner that crowding and the contactless system is encouraged. I think that's probably the change which is there, which I see, and this will probably make this will probably make a little bit of a habit in people want to follow certain basics. And so what will happen is probably once the pandemic is out, which I hope is very soon, what will happen is that the digital part, the familiarity with, dealing with online systems, digital payments, using QR codes for ordering, a WhatsApp mechanism for interactivity with a particular brand or for a loyalty program. And later on, you at the business level using artificial intelligence to be able to get out suitable data, to be able to help in, like, for example, scanning bills, as well as, like, we have already adopted, actually this happened before the pandemic, we have now all our manual checklists, etc. Everything is through a cloud-based system. So all our
Okay.
checklists, all our complaints, all our internal observations are all through that. So I think that those kinds of systems will get more and more enhanced. So that possibly is the customer, retailer, and the staff side of the impact of this.
Hmm.
at the end of it, I think the takeaway would be for customers is that first is to have confidence in the measure that you are taking and ensure that you just follow them through. And second is that, if people have not got used to it, then get used to using the mobile as your source of doing business, doing interactions, doing transactions, to gather information, and get more and more familiar, with the digital world in terms of whether it's a promotion, whether it's a social media space, whether it's using an app, whether it's placing an order. So all these systems, I think, have just got accelerated. That would possibly be the key back. So it is basically the pandemic is teaching you. One is probably, if I may say, if I may put it as 3Ds. So one is, distancing, digitalization, and generally being discreet and in a public domain.
That's correct. That's the new normal. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal. We really appreciate your time in sharing your thoughts, which can be helpful for many in the industry. So once again, thanks for your time. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, I would like to also say here that I'm very, very thankful that I was given the opportunity to share my thoughts with you. And I'm very happy that, MAPIC did take this initiative. So it's always nice to interact with, people in the industry and people who are, in a way organizing and, developing programs where you can have thought sharing and idea
Absolutely.
communication. So I think I'm very, very happy. And should there be any need in future also, I would look forward to that.
Sure, we look forward to you. Thank you so much. Stay connected. Read Exhibitions will be back with many more such insights. Thank you. Bye and stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.